Hello,
everyone.
we were really close. I'm gonna give us that one.
Yeah, I talk it down to we were in chitty chat mode, and then also went, oh crap!
Whoa,
We're supposed to be
it's
talking to
3:30.
everybody else. That just us.
We need to let everybody else in on the fun.
We need to let everyone else in on the fun. The fun that is us. Yes,
that's right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com. And with me is, as always, my beautiful friend, Miss Bobbi Roundtree, born medium.
And it's not as always.
Well, I mean, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're not here, but always you're beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're trying to date
always, me. Always she's beautiful.
How are you feeling today, Erin?
I'm pretty good. I wasn't coughing until we started laughing. So I've got my Ricola and I've got my water. So
I have suckers.
That's awesome.
You're welcome. Well, I could give you one.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks. Thanks. And I put my cape on because it was a little cool. And I guess the last time I'd worn it, I got a piece of bark mulch somehow on it. So that is my luck for today.
Yes. Is it cedar bolt, Mark?
I would think that it is.
So cedar is clearing.
Beautiful.
And it's a part of the earth, so maybe grounding and clearing. Maybe that's what they're talking.
Awesome. Well, then it's just going to go right here in my bra.
In your booby.
That's right. It'll be a fun surprise when I get undressed today. Right. Yeah, that's right. I did stick that in there today.
Hello, Verna.
Hi, Verna.
Hi, Verna.
And Jerry. Hello. Awesome. So what about you, Bobbi? How are you doing today?
Today is a better day than yesterday.
Good.
And yesterday was a better day than the day before that.
Beautiful. That's
so I have high
progress.
Hopes tomorrow. Yes. Hello, Karen.
Hi, Karen. It's great to see you. Awesome.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good overall. I'm good overall. My back is in much better state than it was last weekend. So, yeah.
Hello, Linda. Yes, we set the theme for today when both of us had our backs out this week.
Yes.
And isn't it funny how we both had our backs out this week?
Yes.
There's something. Well, we can look at actually what the Comox, BC itself has been hit with snow. And I know every time it snows, I feel it in my back. There's that. But do you think maybe, did anyone else have back pain last week? Could it be an energetic thing? Could it be something that hit? And Erin and I both went, I know I went, crap. Oh my God. My back put me on my knees a couple times this week.
So what is your understanding for where back pain was coming from for you this week?
Oh, golly sakes. I wish I knew the understanding, to honest to godness, because then I could maybe ratify this whole thing.
Yeah.
But it came from several places. But they're saying in my head, messaging. Which it's almost like they're like, the theme is messages in pain. So it's messaging. But okay. All right. One of the things that private reading person already.
Hold on, I'll take care of them.
Okay, Erin's after you.
I'm on it.
Anyway, sorry about that, folks. So
I'll keep on
it. For myself this week, the message kind of was sit down, shut up, Bobbi.
Yep.
Because I get that one a lot. I have a really hard time sitting down, and I wrote. My back was hurting. I could do nothing else but sit with my laptop and actually write my book. And my goodness, one of my chapters, I started it and ended it the exact same way. I was like, what the devil was I thinking when I wrote this? Oh my goodness. So it was a good thing they made me sit down, and sooner or later that darn book will be done.
Yes.
Well, it's been done 3 times now. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Tanya.
Margaret.
Tanya.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Yes, I hope.
So good to see you both.
Yes, so good to see you both. So what about yourself? What did you think with your pain?
So I identified actually 3 different areas for my pain. One, I physically did something and I was able to pin it back and like, oh yeah, that's what I did. And I know
Yeah, I fell.
and
I
that,
did fall.
but I did it. Yeah. So that was definitely one. Like I did do something. But I was also pushing a boundary last week, and and I remember being in the tub asking, why am I in pain? And it felt like I was smacked upside the head like this. It's like, you tested the boundary. The boundary was there for a reason.
So the boundary, when you say you tested the boundary, that is actually slightly ambiguous to us over here.
Okay. So so part of what I have been, wanting to do, I've had a lot of people asking to come back and to see me in person, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. And so I had a friend over and we did a reading, and she was here for about an hour, and I couldn't walk after. My back was out so far. The nausea and the vertigo was absolutely intense and insane.
Really?
And it was no, not this way. So I'm like, okay, obviously I need to recalibrate this and to find a new way to do this. I need, part of the issue from the physical point of view is my my living room is really sloped over about a 15-foot expanse. There's about a 6-inch slope from one side to the other.
So you can hand someone something by rolling it to them on the floor?
Literally, as long as I'm on that side of the room and they're on this side of the room.
That's how you get things
yes.
there.
Yeah. When my ex-boyfriend and his 3-year-old son lived with us, all of his cars and his trucks and stuff would roll to the window, and I told him it was because I had a magic floor. It may have been a good thing I wasn't a mom, right? Like, I told him
she had a magic floor.
Yeah, right. Of course she did.
Poor child.
I did tell him later that I was just teasing, but yeah. So I mean, there is a slope to the floor. So when I sit, like I sit like this, and in fact, that's what my chair is like right now. It rolls down into. So I'm looking for a solution, because obviously this doesn't work. Over the last couple of years, I keep putting my back out because my hips are sitting funny.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's more pronounced in the area where I sit to do readings. And so like my body says, like, heck no, you can't do that, Erin. I'm like, body, I agree with you. This is not comfortable. But I also picked up something else, and I attribute that in part to, again, like not being accustomed to having people's energy in person when I'm doing work. And so like those boundaries had kind of fallen away. And so like there was something physically or energetically, I should say, that had attached itself that needed to be addressed as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And it makes sense to me as a yogi. When you talk about having to balance yourself, they flash when I used to have a boat. And boy, oh boy, when I would get back on land and get home, I'd be like, oh, I realized I don't have to study myself. My gosh, my quads. Like you don't realize how much you're constantly balancing yourself because your body is always craving balance. That's why when you have an owie here, you must take care of here, because your body's going to want to balance what's going on inside of you.
It's trying to compensate.
Yes. Okie dokie. Yeah. Now, okay. Now we've had Carrie has said hello. I would say something like that. Now, Carrie, don't know what you're talking
about. and I love Tanya's comment. Gotta love Union Bay. Yeah, absolutely. This is
where you live.
It's
Are you moving towards the ocean?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about you might wake up like you're the camp counselor on Meatballs? You know this reference?
No.
They took him outside. They put him in the middle of the lake. And he gets up and you haven't watched. You're so young. Anyway. Jerry. Jerry might know my reference. Now, Jerry says we are capable and have the ability to relieve ourselves of pain. Pain can be removed with a bit of concentration. It may take a few sessions.
Yeah.
I agree, but so as a person who experiences extreme pain, like
and chronically,
and
Yep.
it's pain in a different kind of. It messes with your
Yep.
brain. Like
Yep.
it's pain so hard that it can make you confused or
Mhm.
make it so you can't quite. You can't. Yeah, there are times. Anyway, I totally get it. What I will do is I'll find a spot on the wall, and I'll throw my pain at it
Yep.
and try to get it outside of me. But I don't know, is it my disbelief that I can completely do it? Or
Mhm.
is that something we cannot completely 100% do because the pain is there for a reason?
I would say that if you're having a difficult time getting rid of pain, it's usually because it's there for a reason. And I know for myself, it took me, I had a reading after I got into the pain, but after that, I had a bath and I was able to decrease it by about a third because I was able to get the messages from it and to understand like where it was coming from. And fortunately, in my instance, it was pretty quick because it was something that was new, and I was able to pinpoint it to, okay, well, this happened, so then I could ask questions about that. But if we're talking about longer term pain, I think often it's because there is some underlying imbalance that we haven't addressed, and that there are additional messages.
Oh,
I, rem-
absolutely. Yeah.
I remember talking with a client who was a Reiki student at the time, and she was dealing with anger. And she's like, I want to let go of this anger because it's uncomfortable to feel and experience. And as we were going through, I was giving her an attunement, and that was something that I could do. And I told her after that I couldn't, because the anger was there for a reason. And if we took away the anger, we would take away the message, and she wouldn't look for the reason anymore. So, you can ask that the symptom be turned down so that you aren't experiencing it so much, but you need to still be actively looking for the reason or taking steps towards healing and resolving that underlying reason. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. And with mine, well, I have actually identified it in certain ways, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore it continues to, I wish I hadn't. I can actually go through, I just did 3 readings and didn't
Yeah.
feel my back.
Yeah.
Only felt okay, but I read someone yesterday who was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to them, "You're putting me through pain." Just so you know, I feel the pain in my body, because they
Yep.
will say to me, okay, this is what's happening. And when this happens, because I'll get a here.
Yeah.
And it almost feels, yeah. And so I actually believe that is pay attention, Bobbi.
Yeah.
Third eye, crown chakra, look around, go look at what's going on. So they will do that to me. And then I'll say, you get a pain where they're trying to tell you to look at me, and they're hurting me to let me know to tell you this. And
Yep.
why have I done that? What the heck? Oh.
So for me, as somebody who is clairsentient or empathic and picks up on people's like emotions and physical sensations in their body, this is one of the reasons that I have a rule. And the rule is, as soon as I recognize that the physical sensation or the emotion that I'm experiencing is a message, then the symptom of it has to go. So it doesn't make sense for you to come in and for me to do a reading for you, and you've got a killer migraine, and I have a killer migraine, and then we both have crazy migraines, and I'm not able to support you because I now have a migraine. So as soon as I recognize that I'm getting a headache or a migraine because you have one, then the symptom of mine has to go. That's a rule. It has to go.
Okay. I see that. I can, yeah. I actually did get a migraine twice during readings. Once,
yeah,
it was because I was supposed to be reading both parents. It was a child on the other side, and he wanted mommy and daddy there, and put me on the ground and said, "No, daddy's got to be here." And I said, "Oh, sorry, you got to come back with your husband." The second time, it was because I had a client who was worried about a brain tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And they stopped me. They put the whole migraine in, and she crossed over. Or she could come and see me again. Yeah. So yeah, I wonder, because I believe very strongly in my spiritual contract. That I said, okay, you guys do this, this, and this, and then I'll know what you're doing when you do it.
Yeah.
I actually wonder if maybe, because I've seen some of my past lives, this might be the one where I'm doing the best work. Maybe making up for all the things I did in the other ones here. Because Yeah. So I wonder if maybe I'm paying a due and
Mhm.
part of it. But then when I do that, I'm never going to get out of pain when I think that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe that we are meant to feel and to experience pain.
Suffering.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I had a reading with the most beautiful woman a couple of weeks ago. I so appreciated this. She's been living in Canada for quite some time, but is originally from, I'll just say South America, just so that I don't out her in any way because she lives in our community. And we were talking about growth, and she said, in my culture, in my belief, growth comes through pain. I'm like, yeah, totally get that. That's, like a pretty common thought pattern and idea.
Yeah. So it's darkest before the dawn.
Yeah, yeah. And love. We grow through love. And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful way to grow, is to grow through love.
Well, it's
And
actually a sense of reality.
absolutely, I thought, well, that's beautiful. Why shouldn't we be growing through love?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because we always think it's adversity. Okay. I can read your name, pitch, felt strong connection. No, you didn't, you liar.
It's okay. I've already
Sorry.
deleted them.
Erin got rid of them. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I'm on it.
Yes.
I'm on it.
Okie dokie. Now, Debbie McDonald. Okay, actually, we should say a couple things. Hellos to people.
Yes.
Hello, Christine. No, I don't know. When you ask a question, but I'm not ambiguous.
Yeah, I think on this show with the two of us together, give us some general questions.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do that. So please ask us general questions, not specifically when am I going to meet my soulmate, or those types of questions. We don't do those today. But if you want to ask something in general that maybe relates to something you're experiencing, then we're all for it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense too, because then you can get the perspective, because Erin and I work so incredibly differently but the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, because we are so incredibly different but the same.
Yeah. So and hello to Debbie and Amanda. Yes.
Yes. Hello, Debbie. Okay. Yeah. And now Debbie is asking a lot of questions. But there's one, she has chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting to me that Debbie's asked so many questions and then she has chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Debbie wants to know. And maybe the chronic pain is actually indicating to her that she actually needs to know some more stuff.
Beautiful.
Now, okay, so because I actually believe that chronic pain, autoimmune disorders, all these sorts of things are actually our soul going,
pay attention.
Yes, pay attention to us. Do what I tell you to. Things like that.
Absolutely.
They're even flashing in my head because I think psychic energy is in blood. Go ahead.
Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
How do you avoid absorbing negative energies during readings? Is that it?
No, but that's a good one. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that too. No, one of the things that I realized while I was in the bath, soaking away my pain, was all of these ideas were popping in, like boom, 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 boom. One of the primary ways that I receive messages is called claircognizance. It means thoughts and ideas popping into my head. And so it's like a living brainstorm with like 100 different people, only it's just like me and source, me and spirit.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that came up was the importance of recording the messages that you receive while you're in pain, because there is an incredible clarity. And you think, well, this is such an important message. There's no way that I'm possibly going to forget it. But we do, because I can't tell you how many times I repeated the same lesson over and over and over again. Not because I didn't remember, but there's value in recording those thoughts and ideas. And I said, okay, so like I can write, I'm a writer, but I know that there are people that I talk with and connect with who aren't writers, they're artists. And so it came through, well, then create art. If you're not like a visually artist person and you're not a writer, then why not create a song? I thought, oh man, how powerful would it be if you had like a catchy gimmick song for the pain that you're experiencing?
I don't know. It'd be like welcoming it, in my opinion. Like, oh, here you are again. Yeah, no.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the skeleton song that, like the head bone's connected to the neck bone bone's connected to the shoulder bone. I obviously did not do well in anatomy.
There's no neck bone. Their cervical
It was
vertebrae.
an example.
Okay, sorry, there's a hyoid. Rip and hip hop song Debbie wants.
I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I know. I understand. And actually, if someone were to listen at the door when I'm in the bath, all they would hear is, "Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah." It's amazing because I see all the pictures and I hear that. Yeah, no, you're never alone in the tub. That's actually where they're. Sometimes I actually think they hurt me, so that I will sit down and listen to what they have to say because
And slow down.
I'm a little manic. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm a little manic.
Yeah.
Or ADHD or cuckoo. I have trouble sitting still. I have trouble not doing things constantly. So yeah, this is, and sometimes I actually get annoyed. Damn it, I gotta go sit in the tub. I got things I want to do. And they're like,
and your body's like, nope.
Yeah, my body's like, I don't care what you think, mind. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, well, and that's part of my mind. I have this thing in my mind, I think is guilt, that I must constantly be productive. But I do not deserve to rest. What is that about? Like, honestly, all through my 20s, I at some points in my life, I've had 4 jobs at the same time. So that for sure I'm working 2 in one day. And just working one job in one day was like a joy.
A day off.
So yeah, why do I do that? And okay, let's go to the folks.
So actually, before we go to the folks, I want to put in there, I have the same type of thing, but for me, when I was growing up, you couldn't rest until all of your work was done.
Yeah, and it's never done.
It's never done. We're self-employed. There is no time. There's no way that it will ever be done. And so the only time you can rest is if you're sick. Oh, well, that's stupid. That's no good.
Yeah, because then your work actually suffers because you're sick, because you're only at 90 or 80 or 70% because the rest of you is trying to hold the poop together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Flashing.
Yeah.
Get a fan, ladies. And be happy for your hot flashes, because they could be freeze flashes. Like they can be so many other things. So a little bit of heat, it's good. It's the fire. It's the fire inside of you. It's the goddess Brigade.
Passion.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say it's Brigade. Okie dokie. Hello, Chris. Hello, Nikki. Hello, JC.
Awesome.
Hello,
you're seeing people.
Jen has got the good question.
Awesome. You go for it, because you're seeing people I'm not seeing. So you direct us. Where are we going?
Jen has asked how we avoid absorbing negative energies during readings. What an incredibly good question, because it happens.
Yeah.
I had someone here when people would come inside Marie, my cat, you couldn't get that guy out of here fast enough. And I was like, she bit him. She hissed at him. She went, wow. Yeah, and she does not do that. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, that's okay. But happens all the time. Like, I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
You got some negative energy, dude. But for the most part, I don't really get negative folks that come. Do you? Maybe if I do a psychic fair.
Yeah, that's a psychic fair.
Different ball game.
That is a different ball game for sure. I know you're going to be shocked. I have rules about this. I know. It's crazy.
What is rules? What?
I have rules.
This is news.
So one of my universal contract of service rules, and in it I've said, I'm happy to do the work that I do, but these are the things that I need. My space always needs to be cleared. So that means that if somebody comes in bringing something, if we're actively releasing it, cool, then it goes back to wherever we're sending it. But otherwise it leaves with them. It can't stay with me. And I kind of see it, those big car wash beer things. I kind of see that. That's kind of what I see on my front door.
I love that.
Okay. So this is actually a thought that I've been having for a while, and I'm really excited this question came up because now I can share the thought.
Good.
Okay. So I do have rules, and those are my rules, is that anything that's negative, it can't stay. It has to go. So whether, again, like we're transmuting it and sending it somewhere else, or it's leaving with the person because it's meant to be with the person, whatever it is, that's the main rule. But sometimes I'll do stuff on top of that. So let's say that it feels like something's a little bit stuck or the energy isn't as clear as I would like it to be. Then I'll go through and I'll do some clearing. And for me, I usually use energy work, or I'll use crystals, or I'll use my chakra clearing spray. In the past, I have used sage and smudges,
Yes, that's fine.
Feel a little, I don't want to appropriate somebody else's culture. So
I
I've
totally
been
understand. Yeah.
sticking away from that.
That's
But
paying homage to the culture, in my opinion, showing that the culture actually knows what's going on.
absolutely, absolutely that too. And it kind of reminds me of breathing. So breathing is an automatic process for 99.9% of us. Like, unless you have injury or there's something going on, you will breathe regardless of whether you're paying attention to it or not, because it's automatic.
Breathing is an automatic response with the brain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The brain will do it even when you're sleeping.
Exactly. You don't have to think about it. So that's, to me, that's like my rule. My rule is always in place. It's always going to keep my space clear. It's going to keep me clear. It's going to keep my tools clear, because those are my rules. But there are some times when I want to like ground myself or to change my energy. So I'm going to consciously, actively breathe. I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I'm going to change my breath and my breathing. And that's what I see, like saging and crystals and energy clearing and chakra clearing spraying. That's what I see that as. It's not necessarily necessary, but it's something that I'm going to actively do.
Okie dokie. So as your yogi friend,
yes, please,
I will tell you that what you are doing is pranayama.
Ooh, love it.
When we change our breathing patterns, we actually open up a different center of our brain, because our brain has the automatic response to breathe. So then when you go in and say, okay, no, I want you to breathe like this, your brain goes, what's that now? Oh, this is new. I think I'll wake up. And that's why it actually brings in new energy and new life. Yeah.
I love it. Ooh, I love it.
I started with the yogic breath when you used to take yoga.
Yes, I loved that.
Pranayama, because I start with the yogic breath because we reset. You're not there anymore. Now you're in yoga. This is you on the mat, and nothing else matters until at the end of Shavasana.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like an opening and a closing.
It's an opening and a closing. Absolutely.
So have you used breath to change the energy around you? Or like if you feel like you've got something attached to you, have you ever used breath for that?
That's a really good question, because I actually use breath for absolutely everything.
Okay.
Constantly. Yeah. I even use it with my pain. I use I'm a yogi, and I have been since I was 27. So it's kind of becomes a natural response for me that I go into how I know the body. And because I think I know my body really well, which is really quite annoying considering what it's like. I know you. Why are you so mean to me?
What are we be on the same page?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to interrupt us for a second, and I'm going to go through yes, Chris is lucky she has no physical pain, just emotional pain, which can become physical pain. Make no mistake. It totally counts for learning. Yeah, because a lot of emotional pain actually is in the body. We unidentified. Chris is just smart. She's identified hers, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that why the path of childbirth is so empowering?
Oh,
I actually think, two souls are sharing one vessel. To me, that's what the childbirth is. And then they're hanging out together in the same little spot, and then all of a sudden one goes open and it's a tearing away. Oh my God, Chris, that's right. That's good. Yeah. That makes sense. With the pain is the tearing away of a soul from a soul. So the physical pain can be the marker of that tearing. Because sometimes with my physical pain, I'm like, I'm a warrior, man. Come at me. Jesus. You don't know what I just went through last week. That sort of thing goes on in my head, and I actually feel from it.
Yeah.
Empowered. I know I feel from having 3 kids too.
Yeah.
Because no kind of pain like that. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, are you an automatic writer? Debbie wants to know.
I wouldn't call what I do automatic writing, because I am still present and conscious and aware when I do the writing. And my understanding is that automatic writing is when something takes over the writing process, so that your conscious kind of steps back in order to allow the writing to come through. that said, I remember when we had Mary Malinsky on the show and we were talking about writing, and she called what she did automatic writing, and it sounded very similar to what I was doing, where she was, asking and then writing the messages that she got. So, I think that automatic writing possibly has a much broader scope than what
you write while
I
you
understood.
read.
I do. Well, I like
used
to write. I write before.
That's
so
right. Yeah. You get a sheet of paper with Erin.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get
a
nothing with me.
Get a sheet of paper like this with all of my beautiful illegible scribbling
my
all
love.
over it.
That's all you get. Yeah. You get my love and the people that come to my head. That's all I give. Yeah. But yeah, it's very handy to have the paper too, because there are times too when I am reading somewhere, I think, God, I wish I was a tarot reader. Because then all the things that are coming through, because sometimes they'll be like, and I'm like, oh my God, what first? And I don't even know what you mean by that, for Christmas sakes. And blah, blah, blah. So having a tarot go blah, 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 and I go, oh, there's my reference point, and that's why I see that picture, and this is what they're trying to say to you. But I swear tarot cards are like, no, woman, you're not with us. That's what they do. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Carrie says this is very relatable. It's good to see you too.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to see you.
What other Carrie meant? Other Carrie, color. I don't know what you meant. We don't know what you meant. Okie dokie.
I'm just checking to make sure. Okay, awesome. We don't have any spammers, but we're making our way down. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So where are we going next?
I met Nikki. Nikki has hyperthyroidism.
Thyroid. Oh, Hashimoto's too.
And just got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. Oh, dokie. I know what that is. It's in my head.
Yeah.
It is in the throat chakra, but I also have a mast cell problem, which is a histamine problem. What could be causing that? Okay. This is where it comes in. I actually believe the reason I have all the cysts and things all over my body is because it's Kundalini energy I haven't completely worked through. I actually believe I don't even understand how it all goes, because I was born this way and I didn't choose to learn it and then become it. So I'm like, I put the cart before the horse, and now I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? Which is actually how I do everything in my life. I will start something, then I'll read the instructions and go, oh, like my chia pet. My chia pet is probably screwed up this week. Anyway, my husband bought me a RuPaul chia pet. Shocker.
That's amazing.
So I totally screwed it up because I didn't read the instructions. I just did it, and then I read the instructions. And anywho, so histamine problem of blood, in my opinion, that is like all factory sort of problems. When I had not gotten my third eye open, my sinusitis was so bad I would vomit. It was so bad. So I actually believe that the blood that flows through us is the energy that is us, and it's part of, because I think the soul goes into the husk, and then the blood is the energy and the psychic stuff. And when you're not doing it, they say, okay, you're not doing this, so we're gonna stop up your energy a little bit, lady. So you have to start looking at yourself and helping yourself, and that's why thyroid. That's why things going on with you, Nikki. What do you think, Erin?
Interesting. I mean, for me, I went to throat chakra, which has to do with like blocked communication and creativity. I actually get a lot of creativity in the throat chakra too.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting, because I think that in a lot of cases, part of the reason that we're not expressing ourselves as we need to is because we aren't tapping into like that creative energy. So I've got a really strong solar sacral chakra and throat connection that goes on with that. So I would encourage like expression and journaling, whatever that looks like. I mean, it doesn't have to be writing. It can be drawing and painting, or it could be any sort of like creative thing, but communication and creativity go hand in hand for me in that one.
Really? Okay. See, and I had it in my head, and then Marie bugged me.
Marie.
Marie's annoyed with me. Okay, she's very good with me, and I'll tell everyone why at the end. But I get the throat chakra idea completely and absolutely. And actually, even when you bring it up, because honesty with self. I actually think that maybe Nikki's being told that she is more than she believes herself to be, and she kind of knows it, and she needs to actually be honest with herself as to what might be going on with her. That's what I think. But
Oh, I think that's such a huge one, just in general, for all of us, being honest with ourselves, because we can't be honest with other people until we're honest first with ourselves. So I think
Yeah.
that's a huge one.
It is a massive, huge one, because our
Mhm.
entire the way that we're raised is based on being dishonest with yourself and pretending to be something you aren't a little bit.
Yeah,
It's Jerry has
fake it till you
suggested
make it.
a cough syrup for you, and I
I
am
saw
not
that.
going to try to pronounce that. I
I
actually
saw
almost
that.
thought,
Thank
how
you.
do you pronounce that? Nim jum ipakao? Nim jum.
Yeah, it looks like yes, I will definitely look into that, Jerry. Thank you, because I've had this cough for I think a month and a half now, and it's exhausting and I'm
Did you have
frustrated.
COVID?
So no, I didn't have COVID. I tested and I
Oh,
didn't. I've had it. I've already had it twice, and
because I've known a
um,
couple people who actually still have residual coughs because they had
yeah,
COVID. So yeah.
yeah. Nope. This one is something new that has been passed around my family 2 or 3 times now. So
Oh
that's
yeah, that's
a good time. It's
yeah.
a
When
good
my kids
time.
were little, we used to do that. Yeah, you
Yeah,
take it now, morph it into a new virus, so I can
that's
get it again.
that's right. Get it again.
Yay!
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we're all just strengthening our immune systems again.
that's what we're doing.
So
Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay. Okay.
awesome.
Now, Jen is right after. Are we going to go down all the way? Okay,
Yeah,
let's do
let's
that.
do it. Let's
Okay.
do it. Mhm.
Okay, Jen Miller. Hi, ladies. I'm just starting to tap back into the source. Any tips for finding out who your spirit guides are?
Invite them in.
Yep.
Invite
Invite
them
them
in.
in. And actually, even the worry doll thing is actually immediately came to my mind. Haven't I told you
Oh,
this one before? Oh, okay. I got
no.
worry dolls. I got them for my kids. They're actually a Central American thing. I bought them at
Hmm.
Wishes in Duncan on Station Street.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a plug for Wishes. Anyway, but you can get them in almost any metaphysical store, any international store. Anywho, they're little dolls, and you tell them your troubles before you go to
Mhm.
sleep. I got them for my kids after my divorce. They started popping up in my readings as you grab a doll and say, I would like you to personify my spirit guide, please, or one of my spirit guides. And I would like you to come and meet me. And I would like you to make sure I know it's you some way, somehow. Even if it's next Wednesday, I go, oh my God, that
Mhm.
dream. Holy Hannah. Because
Yeah.
that kind of does happen.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I see, Jen. So what do
Ooh,
you do?
I love that. Well, I like to invite them in and I ask them for help with a specific thing. Like if there's something
Mm,
that has been challenging and troubling for a while, I know that I must have a guide around me who's helping and supporting me with that.
mhm.
Because I believe that we have like spirit guides that are fairly steady and consistent, but that we also have guides who come in for specific purposes and specific reasons.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to call on a guide who I know is helping me with a specific thing, and I'm going to ask them for help with that thing and ask them to help to show me that it's them and that they're around. One of the things that just flashed into my head is often what I tell people as they're starting to become more comfortable and confident with receiving messages like clairvoyantly, so through sight,
Mhm.
is I ask that they ask if it's coming from source or higher self, that it comes with like a gold frame or in some way like there's a gold identifier that's saying, hey, this is more than your imagination. It's kind of got like the gold stamp, a
I
seal
get that.
approval from source. And so what I'm seeing is that you can also ask your guides to come through in different ways. Like if you're a clairvoyant person or wanting to develop clairvoyance, that maybe they come in with a different color. And I had like a metallic blue and a metallic magenta coming in. So you could say, hey, like choose a different color, put a frame, whatever it is that you're showing me, so that I know that it's you and I can start to identify which messages are coming from you.
That's funny because I am clairvoyant. Like it's my
Yes.
primary above all others, and
Yep.
I would go, okay, I see now. I want to feel it. So I
Oh,
asked for another one because I am
another
primarily
confirmation.
clairvoyant. That's kind of funny because as
That's
you were saying, I'm
cool.
like, huh, that's kind of funny because I actually, with the picture I get is the picture I get.
Right.
That's the way I go with them with that. But
Yep.
isn't it amazing though? Because I actually was reading
The
another
different
one
ways.
of Us last
Yep.
week, And she told me some stuff about the way she sees her spirit guides. And I thought this is so neat how each individual actually experiences it differently. So when Erin and I actually even talk about our relationship with our guides or how we talk to them or how they talk to us, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh God, I don't get that. Oh no. Don't think that it's bad. It's you. It's like, you don't sound like me either, do you? Because we're all very different.
Absolutely.
And we all interpret it different. It's the same message, but it's going all into different brains.
Exactly.
So if you and 10 other people witness a crime, ain't nobody
You're all going to see it differently. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, God forbid I ever witness a crime because I do not pay attention to the stuff other people pay attention to. I'm like,
yeah, this is like
this energy.
This is what I saw, but my dad and my aunt and they all saw it differently.
Brian said, "My Uncle B, Uncle Brian's been around a lot, so I have to acknowledge him. He's been around a ton. He's been really cool with the dimes. He's a dime guy. Yeah, awesome. He loves to give the dimes." Okie dokie. Yes, Jerry always puts herself in protection before protective custody. Yeah. That makes me you're hiding.
Just one other thing, going back to spirit guides, I like to bring laughter and humor in. I found that they really enjoy humor in a lot of cases, and they will be funny with me if I am open to being funny with them.
And I think that their spirit guides are actually take on aspects of your personality. They're very much like you. So you like humor and you like to laugh and you like to keep it light, motherfucker. That's you. I almost swore and I'm sorry. I amaze myself at how little I swear when we do this. Just so you guys know, I have a potty mouth.
Do your spirit guides swear at you?
No, I don't think so. Okay. My spirit guides speak to me like they love me.
Yep.
Yeah, and they make me feel it. Actually, when you asked me that, I immediately saw one that I met in the tub.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like she would not let them. Yeah, I actually call her Mama.
Yeah.
Because she kind of looks like she looks like Juliet's nurse. Actually, they come and they take on different personifications, different things that actually signify to me what they are. Like they'll even take on the personifications of things like movie characters, or I've had one that takes on the statue that I actually have in my house.
Cool.
I saw it first. I went, what? You can't be a statue. Yeah, and then there's one that's pretty much a bug.
A bug.
I call them Glimmer. Yeah.
I love it.
Saying too much. Sometimes it's like I'm drunk. Do you ever find that?
Well, that's what I get after we do a day of readings at a spirit fair. Like I feel wobbly and ungrounded and very
when
definitely.
I used to drink and I stopped it because of this, I would wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, what did I say? Oh God. Because even when I'm sober, I run off at the most. You should see me intoxicated. Holy Hannah, it's bad news. Anywho, so when we do these, after I go, what did I say?
It's okay.
Do you ever forget yourself?
I stay in pretty good control usually.
I know you do.
But I think that's because I primarily work with angels and they keep you on the straight and narrow.
They do. Yeah. Dead people will be like, hey, here's an alley. There's a wall.
Let's have a party. Right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Depending on them. Yeah.
I think that's one of the cool things about connecting with deceased loved ones is when I've connected with them, they want to re-experience or to experience like touch and physical sensation and food. Oh my gosh. Whenever people ask me, about how to celebrate their loved one for their birthday, I say food. And that's what they show me. They'll show me like pizza.
But
and like all of their favorite foods.
Oh, I see. Okay, see, and I would interpret that as actually when someone crosses over, we need to send food to them and we need to consume food for them because it's actually nutrition and filling ourselves. But they always show me things like you ever watch Pirates of the Caribbean and you see them, he drinks and you can see it falling out of them. That's the way they show me. Food and consumption. They do not consume. They even show me sex in a different kind of way.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Okay, now we have to. How do dead people have sex, Bobbi?
It's completely energetic.
Well, I can see
It
that.
is as sex should be. Because sex actually should be two energies colliding with each other in their meat suits and becoming really the beast with two backs. And that's how they show it to me. It's they actually will show, you always see those cards with the twin flames and they're all winding up with each other. That's the way it looks like. It looks like two souls winding, like what you see birds screw in the sky. Sorry.
I don't think I've ever noticed that, but now I'm going to pay attention. Now I'm going to pay attention because it's not like I live in a spot where there aren't birds. Yes. I'm going to pay attention and find them in the spring.
Okay. Oh, right. Now, okay, I'm going to go because we have a lot of people that, because I've been,
Okay, so where are we going?
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Okie dokie. Do you want to pick the next comment person?
You go ahead because I'm all over the place. So
okie dokie.
I don't even know where we are anymore.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now it's okay. Now, oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
Now, Debbie is asking about Kundalini yoga. And I'm actually going to talk about it because, thank you, Maxine. And I started writing you an email back and I have not finished it yet. Just so you know, Maxine.
Perfect. I noticed that and I was going to say, don't worry, I'll talk to Bobbi after the show. We've got
that's hilarious. Okay. So Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga, I think, lends to my theory about blood in the psychic abilities thing.
Okay.
Because it's the flow of the energy throughout your body and the way the energy moves up. Well, Kundalini yoga is actually even a little bit different than Kundalini energy. Because Kundalini yoga, that's actually what I wanted to teach at first. But there's a ridiculous amount of rules. Like I wanted to teach Ashtanga yoga, but I had to call it power because I didn't do it in fives. Yoga has a ton of rules like that if you want to do it properly. If you want to do it traditionally, I was going to say properly. Actually, I did say properly. But anyway, do you ever get anything about Kundalini yoga and the snakes and things like that?
Well, I mean, we do a work with a little bit of work with Kundalini yoga during attunement. So attunement is when a Reiki master attunes their Reiki student to the new level of Reiki. And basically what we're doing is we're opening the channel through which you receive like Reiki energy. And there is one form of attunement where you can start to work with the Kundalini serpent at the base of the spine, helping to open and to awaken. Because of course, when you're opening and expanding and you're connecting with those greater amounts of energy and you're connecting with source and everything, then everything certainly opens up.
Let's do that. Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, okay. I want to do that. Let's do that. Okay.
It's a date.
Okay, I want to do that. Maybe it'll help. Because I think my problem has to do with my Kundalini.
Yeah.
So because where my bumps are, they're in a lot of Kundalini spots. My
interesting.
Yeah, especially this one right here.
Yeah,
my crown chakra right there, where the lump is, where the biggest one. The most annoying one is. Let's put it that way.
Is it at the back of the third eye chakra, or is it at the back of a secondary chakra? Because there's actually a secondary chakra that's kind of in between the back of the throat chakra and the back of the third eye chakra, and it has to do with forward movement and carrying forward. And in fact, it's one of the places.
There's a chakra in between each chakra.
Yes, we've got piles of chakras.
The main 7. And there's 3 within each 7. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. But this one specifically has to do with being able to move forward, which is interesting because most of the forward movement ones are in like your legs and your feet, and even your root chakra can have some of that. But one of the reasons, like when I do one of the affirmation blows with the attunement, I add this one back here. Because it is separate.
When you say affirmation blow, you mean not right?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
we're definitely videoing it then, so I have, witnesses to the assault.
Yeah, no, it's we use breath. In the later Reiki practices, we incorporate breath into treatment, and we use breath as part of the attunement process as well.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, of course,
you
of course,
have
we'd
to-
use breath.
Of course, you use breath because you actually center your mind with your breath.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Jen says mold. I think now she says mold exposure can impact all of those symptoms and disorders. I think she might be talking about what we were talking about with Nikki, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think so. And you know what, Jen, I'm going to say that totally applies to me as well, because I know that there's mold in the space that I live in and I'm working on it. So I appreciate that you brought it up, because that's just a reminder. Get going, Erin.
Yeah. Well, don't you find that when we do this and the Orachellians say stuff, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yep. That was for everyone, but that was for me too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it happens in readings too. I'll be reading someone go, oh crap, I'm supposed to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. And I love Tanya's message here. Chia pets are not easy. That one was for you.
Easy. Okay, we're finally on the same page.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, then you get to pick the next one.
Okay, let me see. Oh, what kind of rituals do you do to get grounded? Is that where you were going to go?
I knew you were going to go there too. So I'm like, oh, you're going to totally pick the grounding.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love grounding. There are lots of different ways to do it. And I remember I was instructing or leading a psychic play group down in Bowser, and I had these beautiful women, and they had just asked me if I would do a similar thing for their teenage kids, and I said yes, absolutely. And then we started talking about grounding, and I started talking about all the different ways that you can ground, like you can ground through exercise and food and sex. And they look at me and they're like, okay, don't mention that to our kids.
Like they need another excuse to balk. Yeah. No.
Right. Mom, we're just grounding over here.
Stop grinding.
I mean, grinding can lead to grounding.
I don't know. I tend to go the other way.
I mean, yes, for me, anything that brings you into your physical body is going to help create grounding. I can certainly see how sex can also take you out of your body, but then you come back into it after.
Yes, it takes me into stages of reality. That's all I'll say. You're making me miss my husband. Anyway. Crystal, because I have actually seen people during psychic fairs in the middle. I've seen one person in particular actually be in the middle of a reading and go, oh, I am not grounded. Give me a minute, and walk away.
Yep.
And then come back and go, okay, I got a new crystal in my hand. I just did some stuff and now I'm grounded. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So can you unground during a reading?
Yeah, I've certainly become ungrounded during a reading. Usually when it crosses a boundary, which is like the pre-established time, I start to get really ungrounded if we go too long.
Me too. Yeah.
Or not necessarily if we go too long. I mean, I can do a reading. I have done 3-hour readings. It's not that I'm not capable of doing long readings.
That someone's about to call in 5 minutes and you want I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there's that ungrounded, there's that, absolutely, you can become ungrounded. Yeah. So like touching your feet to the floor, connecting with the energy of the earth, bringing the energy of the earth up into your body. Crystals, I love crystals. I have a huge obsidian ball that I hold with me sometimes.
That's a great idea. I have a lot of trouble staying grounded. Hi.
I'm shocked, Bobbi.
Yeah, I know. And actually, when I had I was starting to have a lot of I can get swollen in the back of my pelvis. And then that swelling, I've got lumps in my legs. So it will go, it's a terrible situation. Anyway, so I was in the tub and they were saying, you need grounding, dummy. You need to see the tree roots. Blah, blah. I'm like, what the? Are you kidding me? How many years have I been doing this with you people and you're trying to tell me I'm not grounded? Holy Anna, but they were right. I unground all the time because, to be perfectly honest, I think about my own death constantly. I am always in the clouds. I am always talking to these people up here. There are times when I am having conversations with living folks and they say things and I go, oh, darn, now I'm supposed to talk. And I don't know what we were talking about because all I was doing was watching their spirit guides play something or doing like, it's all I where it was. It's terrible.
So I know that this particular client has been on the show because I've seen her comment. So my apologies in advance. I recently had a reading with a beautiful, amazing woman, and we were talking about grounding, and she has a similar kind of feeling around grounding. So here's what I got for her that I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
Grounding doesn't have to be like root firm here, right? Like it doesn't have to be like whoa, like this. It can actually be kind of floaty. And some of the imagery that I was getting, you know, helium balloons, how like if you get them for a party and they've got the little weight on the bottom,
yes,
and sometimes the weight isn't quite strong enough and they kind of like bop along. You can still be like, it's still grounded. Those balloons aren't going anywhere. They're just, you know, bopping along.
You don't think that's just earthbound spirits moving them about the room?
Leave it to a medium. but also, I mean, we have plants that don't root in soil. Like if you look at hydroponics,
air plants.
We have and things, and they just kind of blow in the breeze. So you can like blow in the breeze and still be rooted, just not like rooted like this, and it's still okay.
You know what's kind of cool that you even bring up is that my husband got me a hydroponic thing for the kitchen counter for Christmas. Beautiful. And I'm growing lettuce right now in my witch's kitchen.
I love it.
Without soil.
I love it.
Little puck things, and I think I need to put some water in them. Okay, I get it, and that's why it's in my witch's kitchen.
I love it
because I actually do that when what I used to do when I used to ground because I wanted to be so grounded is I would watch a massive red crystal come out of my butt and go boom into the center of the earth, like I was drilling for oil or something.
I love that.
Yeah, it right out of my butt.
Now, another way that I've seen grounding, like just from a visual point of view, if you do want to get that like solid rooted grounding, is I see like the roots coming out of my feet, going down into the earth. And then, you know how people who have like longer curly hair and they do the scrunch, I love the scrunch, like they just kind of like scrunch up. That's kind of what I see the earth doing with my roots. Like it just kind of reaches up and like just scrunches and holds and nurtures and nourishes. And it's not only like my roots reaching down, but it's also the energy of the earth coming up and reaching up for me.
Oh, I'm going to add that one because mine go all throughout the room.
Yeah.
I have my roots come and go.
Yeah. And then when they dig down, then earth can come up and say, hey, like I've got you.
Yes. Okie dokie. And the voices in my head tell me that for Jen in particular who asked this question, she might want to hold a black stone or something so that the actual, because some people are tactile.
Yeah.
To hold it makes it real.
Yeah.
And like toddlers.
Yeah.
I did not mean it like that, Jen. I'm not calling you a toddler. Okay.
Yeah.
Nikki says whatever idea you have is a great idea. I don't know what it is.
Love it. I think that may have had to do with the blood and the Kundalini.
Oh, okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Now, do you want to pick the next one or do you want me to?
You go ahead, but I'm just going to say thank you to Jerry because she's been pushed often to give me the name of the cough syrup because I've been coughing for quite a while. So Jerry, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I'll drag myself out to the store tomorrow and I will find some of it. Thank you.
Okie dokie. And Karam has asked when, and I don't know what. When what?
I'm not sure, Karam.
No, is Kundalini yoga better than regular yoga? There is outside of there is no yoga that is better. There is the yoga for the body at the time. Because they're all derivatives of Hatha. And Hatha is the base yoga.
I love that. What about, I know we've talked about this one. What about restorative yoga?
Restorative yoga? Well, you know what? It depends on who's teaching restorative yoga because what they're restoring at the time. But I would put restorative yoga. Doing restorative yoga and teaching restorative yoga, I managed to get a woman's toes that she could not bend to bend
Yep.
like this.
Beautiful.
We did all in a chair.
Beautiful.
Did her entire class is in a chair. I actually had a client yesterday who I said, you should be learning some chair yoga.
Beautiful.
Because she didn't even realize you can do yoga in a chair.
Yeah.
You can do yoga anywhere. Yoga is honestly,
you just need the right supports.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just because I'm a yogi. There's a reason why it's been around for ancient amount of times. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Yeah. Okay, so you know what I talked about, the numbness? When we start talking about that, I have a triangle of numbness.
Yeah, you were saying. Huh.
Well, so do you may have flipped a disc because I fell down a flight of stairs and bumped my head.
Oh, Bobbi.
I have a video. Did I not send you the video? Oh, it's hilarious. No. My friend has a Ring camera. Thank goodness. Very helpful when you go to the ER, though, with a video. When they say what happened.
This.
Oh. That's what it gets. Oh. Yeah. So I hit my head and I went. Yeah. Anyway, I fell down. So I have a numb spot. So is that a numb spot? Is that physical? Or did someone just go like that on my shoulder? That's actually what I just saw.
So why don't we use you as a guinea pig to show people what you could do when you're experiencing pain to get better understanding for where it's coming from?
Oh, okie dokie. So, okay. All right. Okay. What I will do when I get this, I actually go, what? Ooh. I want to know why. And then actually sometimes I'll be called to close my eyes and then I can see the thing. That it is so much for me, I think, is a message. Mm-hmm. It's not get this out of your life, Bobbi, because those are right here all the time. They are constantly yelling at me about my life. Because, oh, girl. Anyway, but this, as soon as I asked you about it, that's what I saw. I saw someone go like that and put their hand down on my shoulder like that. Mm-hmm. So what did you see?
Well, first of all, I want to ask what that means to you.
Oh, okie dokie. Okay. Immediately I heard something in my head.
What did you hear?
I am with you.
Oh, wow. Who is this?
Well, since we've been doing this work.
Yeah.
And such. And before when I was a little girl, I was very angel obsessed.
Yes.
And yeah, I think it's a little bit your fault.
Yes. Give it to me.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. Yes. And actually, I might even go, because for a long time there, I called the angels ascended beings. Mm-hmm. Because angel to me was the Philadelphia cream cheese lady on the clouds at the puffy.
With the beautiful ringlet curls. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That come into my room and I'm like, whoa, holy Hannah. You are power. Like I can't even describe the feeling and the awe. Like I almost was afraid of them. Yeah. And I honestly believe that's why they say fear not. Mm-hmm. They come because it's like, don't be scared. I'm just really big and really powerful. So so yeah, I do. I have this thing in my head. Mm-hmm. I watch so much history and I do so much history stuff. Yep. And I really think that sometimes ascended beings are named as angels because they were gods. Mm. And then they come down like what we talked about with Brigitte. Mm-hmm. Because I have such a problem because sometimes the things I see in my head, and I've said this to so many people, I am right between I'm crazy and I'm super psychic. I am just always right in the center going, which one is it today? I don't know. So what I keep seeing is that it could be something much higher than us or higher than ourselves or something like that. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I am really drawn to the triangle shape, actually. That to me,
the universe.
Yeah, well, and I know that triangle and threes, Trinity, I know that that's really big for you. Yeah. And the interesting thing to me is it feels like it's an upside down triangle. Is that right? Is.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I know that you represent yourself in an upright triangle with the point pointing up. And so that feels like that's an indication of imbalance, right? Like now everything is pointing down. And so it's interesting that we've been talking about grounding because what's down? Well, the ground is down. Mm-hmm. And I know when I first started doing like this type of work, there was almost like an idea that if you were too grounded, you weren't going to get up as high as you needed to be. And you know, that's obviously changing. We now of course know that the more firmly grounded and rooted you are, actually the more that you can expand. Yeah, exactly. So I'm seeing this as being like a new level of awareness and ascension, and I'm hearing to the need to like create space for it. So like there are lots of projects, lots of things on the go, and it's like, well, let's just create space for Bobbi like to grow and to open and listen to what she has to say.
It's amazing. If I could give my own advice to me and make me listen, like how many of my clients, if they're here, are like, you tell me to do that all the time, Bobbi. You are constantly saying put yourself first. What the hell? Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually what you say, you're very on the money, because I did receive in the bathtub a little thing that says start treating yourself as you are. Dodo. Because you know, you tend to downplay it a little bit, what we do a little bit, because it's taken me a long time to even take myself seriously. And I like to tell myself in my head, I compare myself to doctors and lawyers. I am up there in my brain, doctors and lawyers. I am that important in my brain. So I do that because I have to, because it's been so it was so downplayed. When my kids were little, I didn't tell people what I did because I didn't want to get made fun of. And I didn't want my kids to get made fun of or get ostracized in school or something like that because their mom thinks she's a psychic or something like that. Because that's what happens, isn't it? Even when we were younger, people say to me, I think I might be psychic. Well, you're alive, aren't you? That's what I want to say. We're all psychic. It's actually a very natural and normal thing. What you and I admit to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our opinions admit to.
I see it like playing baseball. Anybody can go in the backyard and play catch. Anybody can join a beer league and go out and play with friends. And then there are some people who like grow and develop and pursue, and they go pro or they go semi-pro or whatever.
Like keep score.
Right. But anybody can play baseball.
That's true.
Everybody is psychic. It's just a matter of how you decide to do it. Are you going to play catch in the backyard with your kid? Are you going to go join a beer league because you're going to play on a regular basis? Are you going to go semi-pro or are you going to go pro? Like, you are the one who chooses and decides.
Comparison. I always compare it to singing.
Do you? Yeah.
Anybody
can sing. Yeah.
Some should do it in the shower and never let anyone else hear. And some should actually be up on a stage so people can be inspired.
Karaoke. Yeah, absolutely. There are lots of different levels.
I used to work a karaoke bar.
Did you?
Yes, I lived above it and I worked at it. Oh, every Friday and Saturday night, the Cordaway Pub in the 9OB. I do believe there's still a karaoke bar. Great little bar. Great family-owned bar. Anyway,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Karen, I love you. To be honest, I forgot because she had asked when, and she says, here, I forgot you were talking about Kundalini, but she forgot when.
Oh. Oh, that's so funny. Okie dokie. Nicole Casper is doing training for restorative and yoga nidra.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Right now, who are you training with, Nicole? Is it Kavita? Anyway, beautiful. I think it might be. Okay.
Put your feet on the floor to ground yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darn. My feet did not reach the floor.
Oh, Jerry. I have to read Jerry's full comment. Yeah.
I have had people be told in my head to stick their feet in dirt or stick their feet in the ocean for grounding. Because it facilitates the idea. Because that's what, when I'm in the tub, that's salt water. There's no way I cannot get messages. Yeah. They're like, well, you sat in salt water, stupid. Of course we're going to talk. They don't call me stupid.
I also get it in the shower as well. Yes. Like the shower with the rinsing and the clearing.
Well, the shower, because I see the water as a conductor. It actually conducts energy like hydro. And when you're in the shower, you're sometimes, most times, you're alone. Yeah. So you're concentrated on one purpose and one thing. So it's very meditative. Yeah. And I have people show up and I'm like, I actually put it in my book. Like, no, 11 o'clock is the first reading. You don't come in my shower.
Yeah, spirit comes and visits in the shower before.
In the shower, yeah.
Vibes,
But
absolutely.
the physical part is not, it's not like looking at my boobies. It's not that. It's like, you're early, dude. Yeah.
When I used to make soap, I used to say that I showered with thousands of people because through the soap, I was there every day.
I watch my privates with you.
Yeah.
I had Salon Lee soap. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I've just kind of noticed Karim's comment here. Why is my guy talking to me while I'm having a shower?
That's so funny that we just said that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah,
because you're quiet.
You're quiet, and there
You're
isn't
not
anything else going. Yeah, and you're clearing, and there's movement.
Yeah,
it never happened before.
To play music in the shower. I'll put shuffle on my phone and say, okay, what do I need to know today? And sometimes I'm like, I need to know that. Okay.
So I was inspired by you doing that. And so on my Spotify, I just choose, I think it's like Throwback Thursday jams or something like that. And I did one and I got 99 problems. And the lyric goes, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. And I'm like, true. Probably do have 99 problems. And very definitely, women aren't one. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I decided that I needed to find something other than like hip hop and rap to do that with
for their expression, because they're like, okay, there's a line in here we want you to listen to. The rest of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You got to get some Lizzo. Because Lizzo's empowering lyrics are really easy for them to go into. Pink is like that as well. She just put out a new album. I'm a
Very
little
cool.
Yes, but Lizzo, I like Lizzo. I like it when they play I'm My Own Soulmate, things like that.
Lovely.
Okie dokie.
Awesome.
Now Debbie is asking, am I psychic? If it's so, what gifts, talents, abilities do I have? Okay. And honestly, the first thing in my head is that is up to you to find out. Because I think we don't know how we hear or what we are until we actually spend time being in here. Yeah. And honestly, Carol and Adrienne gave me such a great start. It was Chris and Carol and Adrienne, but Carol and Adrienne were the ones who were kind of facilitating it, where we would meditate together and then work into groups and try to read each other. And it was such a safe environment to do it. Yeah. Because if you said, I see a dog, I don't know. And they'll be like, no. Dog can mean this, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah. They help you to see how you see.
To understand.
Differently. You and I see very, very differently. We're seeing the same thing, but we're seeing it super differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, and you're...
Well, and just even like your comfort with receiving messages like clairvoyantly. For me, that's something that has definitely come along the more that I work, and I do get more clairvoyant messages than I ever have in the past. But I'm still learning how that comes together for me. Yeah. And where for you, it's something that's very natural.
I'm just happy they make sense now. Yeah. That's what it is.
The puzzle pieces fitting together.
Yes, they're not floating at me.
Where you see, for me, like clairsentience, so clear feeling, has been one of my big things forever. And so I'm really clear with like how something feels or what something is. And it's just like that because it's just like breathing for me. And for you, you're like, give it to me in a way that I can feel it. Yes. So it's I think
it's down here, guys. Yeah.
Give it to me, baby. Sorry. Give
it to me, baby.
So anybody who goes to see Bobbi in the next couple of weeks, when she starts to,
give it to me, baby. Yeah, I'm trying to get the feeling. Yeah.
So, I think to take Debbie's question like a little bit further, how would a person discover what their gifts and what their talents are, is to start recognizing how different psychic abilities can manifest. So like, for example, we've got 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. I throw taste and scent in with clairsentience, though they are their own separate thing. So we've got clear cognizance, which is clear knowing, thoughts and ideas popping into your head. So this can come in the form of, thinking about somebody and then they reach out to you randomly the next day, or
There are people
knowing
I
that
do
the
not
phone.
think about.
Sorry?
There are people I do not think about.
Intentionally, so they don't show up.
Because I do not want to bring myself to their attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So people popping into your head, thoughts and ideas randomly popping into your head, seemingly from out of nowhere, just knowing something is happening, or just like knowing something to be true.
Yeah. It comes with time, because Denise, even Debbie, sorry, I apologize to Debbie. Actually, I have a friend with the same last name and I keep changing it to her name. Anyway, she says, how long is training? And it's actually the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because it never ever stops, and thank God it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would be sad if I leveled up, because I think, they're going to take me.
No, absolutely. When I was in pain, like begging for relief, I had huge third eye stuff that was opening for me in the tub.
I saw you like a unicorn, actually.
Did you?
Coming out of your head. You'd be popular at parties. And you're right, Grace. They should all help in paying hydro. Yes. And the more times he said she should help pay in hydro, because she's
yeah, that's right.
Does it ever scare you? Doesn't scare Erin, but
sorry, what was that?
Debbie asked if it ever scares you. And Amanda, yes, mentor. You know what? I actually hear Amanda be your own mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And use other guidance from others, but keep you in the lineup. Yeah. Keep you in the lineup. Keep you straight ahead. That's actually what I do. Yeah,
absolutely.
Does it ever scare you? Do you ever get scared?
No, I have never been afraid of it, ever. The only time that I came close, I was doing some mediumship training with Carol, and I went home, and she had talked about this. She said, once you start opening up to spirit, they will come and they will test, because they want to connect.
Yep.
And I felt a presence outside of my shower that made me nervous, but I knew what it was. I knew how to deal with it. So that's the closest I've ever been to being afraid. How about you?
Because it was just more unknown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just a second. My headset just cut out again because it's a pain in the neck. You keep talking. I will come back.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I do get scared sometimes. And actually, when I have been like this since birth. So as a child, it was, and Erin's right. They do, once you are open, they know where you are. And if you're a little kid, they're like, yummy. Open season. They go after you. The nightmares, my golly face, the nightmares with the smiling faces. They smile at you and they come to, my daughter has them now. And I actually think they're demonic nightmares. Because there are those that would derail us, in my opinion. There are those who go, you're doing good work. You're helping folks. We don't want that. I don't want that. Or
that's
you want
true.
to play with spirits? I'll give you a spirit to play with, little girl. Things like that. Yeah. So but that's always my thing with people who have kids they feel are psychic, and they're all psychic, but they actually tell the kid they're psychic. They tell, and I understand validating what they see. Because mine was somewhat validated, but I honestly don't know that. I actually hear in my head, don't allow your kid to explore. That's actually what I heard in my head. And I don't want to unsay that, but I don't like that, to be honest. But
so I'm going to come at this from the perspective of not being a parent, but with working with angels and having had amazing results with angels. Create a play, like a sandbox, a play box for your kid where it's safe, and use your angels as bouncers and filter stuff out.
and I always use grandparents that are on the other side.
Perfect. Grandparents on the other side,
because they will fight to the death for you. Things got so much better after my grandmother crossed, and then after my dad crossed. Yeah. So, but angels, man, you're calling in the big guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling someone's grandma. They're like,
go,
come the best.
Go big or go home, Bobbi.
Yes. Go to the big homes so I don't miss time.
It's kind of like, like spirit or something evil or demonic comes up, and angels just kind of put their hand out, and it just kind of tries and puts it like
We've got a naughty
nothing. It's not
person.
going anywhere.
I'm blocking this person.
Oh, you've got him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You poopy head. I am sorry about that, Karam. They went after Karam.
And Debbie too. Yeah, it's
and
all right.
Debbie.
We're getting rid of them. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Yeah.
I know. You know what? I think that I figured out another way to do it. I just need to talk to you about it. So we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But we should actually be doing it. Like, we should be protecting our. Is that what you're thinking? Oh, okay.
No, so many ideas. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it actually got thrown to me because you know me, I get all when I'm doing something and I don't see the success that I think I should have.
Mm-hmm.
So I get in my head and then I wreck it more. Totally more because I get, well, I'm not good enough. I should hit myself more. Things like that. That's what I do.
So, the whole idea that universe only gives you what you can handle. And usually we think about it in like a negative way. I'll never be given more negative stuff than I can handle. We're also never given more positive stuff than we can handle either.
At that moment in time. Yeah.
Right. So if you're hitting a roadblock with like growth and development and expansion, usually it's not because you haven't been putting in enough or that people aren't wanting it. It's just that there's something that you need to overcome for yourself. So
see, and this is something, well, it's my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It was my YouTube channel. And actually what I'd said, I thought, I'm just going to put this in the hands of the angels.
Yeah.
If it's something that, because the only reason I do is because I want people to hear it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know who's hearing it. So if I just put it in the hands of the angels, and the people who are supposed to hear it will hear it, and that's all that I need to do.
Yeah, that and you get your angel bestie. I've just appointed myself to throw it in the chat comment of all of our live streams.
You're adorable. You're quick. I couldn't have done that so quick.
I'm on it.
You are on it. Look at you.
If you think that all of the awesomeness that is Bobbi that she brings is something that you want in your life, check out her YouTube channel. It is literally youtube.com/@bornmedium.
That is me. Yep. I'm Born Medium. Yep.
That's Born Medium, Ms. Bobbi Roundtree.
Yeah, and all these are on there too. Yeah. And all these are on yours too.
Yep. We broadcast to your Facebook and my Facebook and Universal Connections Facebook, and we're also broadcast to myritualsoak.com on Facebook, and then we broadcast to your YouTube and my YouTube.
Wow, we're everywhere.
We're all over the place. Oh, awesome, Nicole! Way to go. Nicole said that she just blew up your channel yesterday.
Thank you. I think that's a good thing. Thank you.
It would be a good thing. It would be a really good thing.
Ziena or Zena?
Oh, that's such a cool question.
It is a really cool question and a great name. What a groovy name.
Okay, so I think it's Zena has asked, if we have a blockage in our chakra system, how do we remove this?
How do we remove this? What do you do?
Oh, I've got a whole pile of different ways.
It depends on the way I see the blockage.
Yeah.
But and I clear mine every day. Do you?
Okay, how do you clear yours?
I clear mine. I see them like records.
Okay.
Like in the 70s.
Spin and then I take right round, baby.
Right round, baby. And then, well, it does depend because I do a few different ones because sometimes I drip water and watch it reverberate. And then as it reverberates, it actually creates the color stronger and stronger. Sometimes I'll bring the color into my nose and bring it down my body and then flow it through. And sometimes I have the record and I take what looks kind of like a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, because back in the olden days, we used to have these little sponge things we put and we play the record and it would clean it. So I put the white on there and it cleans it and makes it a nice, strong, beautiful red.
I love that. Yeah. And so when you talk about the color, you mean like red for root and orange for sacral and yellow.
Colors are really important for me.
Okay.
Because I'm so visual.
Yeah. Got them. Awesome. And then
I got it.
It's okay. I got them too. I've already got them.
What's wrong with you? Anyway.
But yeah, there are some things, like lots of things I do. I'll channel energy. So I bring energy in through the soles of my feet, up in through my chakra system, and then like cycle it down and around through the chakras.
Okie
Or I'll
dokie. Yeah, because you're so much more clairsentient and knowing, and I am
like
so visual. Yeah, okie dokie.
cycling it through. But another one that I haven't done in a long time that I absolutely love is each chakra has a vowel sound associated with it. And you can go through and you can chant or like kind of hum the sound, and you'll do it 3 times. And with each one, you take a full breath and you hum it out for the entire breath. You go through that 3 times, and you'll be able to tell which ones are out of balance because the sound won't be as clear, or you'll have a difficult time getting through it, or you get a bit of a cough, or it'll sound kind of wobbly. You aren't able to hold it as long. And so what you can then do is say, like I say, throat is out and my root chakra and maybe my crown chakra are out. So I'll go back and I'll do each of those 3 times, and maybe I'll do some energy work with it too. So like I'll go into some visualization like you do, like bringing the color in, or I'll put my hands on the area to bring energy into it. And then I'll go back through again. And usually that's enough to kind of bring them back into some form of balance. And it's a neat way to bring in like sound and voice, especially like with throat chakra, if your throat chakra tends to be a little bit low and wobbly.
That makes perfect sense. They want me to actually add, because I actually do the chant. I do
Yeah.
lam bum rum yum hum shum om.
Yeah.
And okay, what was it? Because I had it in my head what I was supposed to say.
Yeah.
Lum rum shum okay. Can't remember. It obviously wasn't that important. Dang it.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
It's really important. Oh, okie dokie. That's what it is. Sometimes when I'm in that chakra, something from my life will just keep on popping in. I'll be like, okay, thank you for that. And off I go. But then I go, oh, wait a minute. That is all solar plexus chakra energy there. I'm
Right?
actually supposed to look at that. I'm blocked there because this thing is happening. That actually started happening about 10 years ago. Because it changes. It changes all the dang time. I started this.
Absolutely.
Well, I actually consciously started this at 27. Started the journey, the path. Okay, I'm going to sit down and decide I'm not crazy and move into what I can do. Thank you, Kristen. But yeah, it changes constantly. New level, you different. Yeah. Triangle.
Yeah. Of course, triangle. Yeah. And you also, oh man, remind me after we get off. I have to find that card for you because Holland, the psychic medium, his last name is Holland, John Holland. He has a card deck, and literally almost exactly where you're talking about, he has like a red triangle on the back of like a very strong muscular man. Remind me, I have to pull that card out for you.
Let's look at that.
We have to get to the bottom of that one.
Okay, now I know. Well, I think that we have both displayed how we're feeling.
Do you mind if I say one more thing?
No, I do not mind at all.
I don't remember exactly how this tied in, but it has to do with plateaus. That in any sort of growth and learning journey, you will always come to a point of plateau. And recently, I've spoken with a lot of people who are frustrated with the plateau that they are experiencing because they aren't moving forward, and they're doing all of these things, they're trying all of these things, or they just don't have the energy to try more. And when you hit that place, it's actually meant as a resting place so that you can delve more deeply into the things you already know that you aren't meant to learn or to do more until you've become really comfortable with this. And then you will eventually break out of plateau. So see your growth as being something that will have rests and will have growth. You might fall back, but you always go back again.
Yeah, I agree with you completely because my entire time that I've been doing this, they've shown spiritual awakening and spiritual process as climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
So, and if you climb a mountain, you have to stop at plateaus. There's rest camps. There's base camps. There's camps all over the place because you need to rest so you don't fall off the dang mountain.
All along the way. Oh, so actually, I have something to share. Let me see if I put it up. Oh, it doesn't. Hold on. It will work. Just a second. Let me just take this other thing off. This was one of the cards that I sent out for 2023. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about it was we had this person who was hiking and he'd found a rest stop and was looking back over everything that he had experienced, looking back over everything that he had already summited. Yes, there was still more to come, but taking a moment to just celebrate and enjoy the beauty of where he is. And I see that as being part of what our plateaus are.
Very nice. I like that a lot.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Beautiful. Tanya says that. Now, I hope that we have actually answered that question for you, Zena. That is, do all psychics see the same blockages?
I would say
because
no.
I think you and I both just displayed that we both saw it totally differently, but the same.
Yeah.
Somewhat the same. So
yeah.
I think maybe as well her question or his question, I'm not sure of your gender, has a lot to do with somebody may have told you were blocked somewhere, and you might not see that. And I've said things to people. I go, don't take my word for it. Look into it yourself, because I just heard the information. It went through the Bobbi filter. So the Bobbi filter may have distorted it incorrectly, and it might need to go through your filter first. So that might be actually.
I think that's a really important point, because I see a lot of people giving over their power to people who are doing readings or who are offering energy treatments or whatever it is that we're doing. And I think at the core of everything that we do, that we should be empowering you to be in touch with yourself and your own body, that, we could be a resource that you can connect with when you aren't able to do that for yourself, but that ultimately, like, the goal is not to set you up so that you keep coming back to see us, but so that you have the resources that you need to help yourself.
Yeah. We're the people at the side in the marathon that are going, come on, keep going. And
with the water, like, hey.
That's what we're here for. We're like, oh yeah, keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are. And the check-ins.
Yeah.
Because everyone needs to do them. Yeah,
absolutely. Because sometimes we have like blind spots that we aren't looking at things, so we need to check in with somebody else. So find somebody that you trust and check.
Or maybe the stuff you just won't admit to yourself.
Yeah. That's true too.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, so Miss Bobbi, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you to connect for a reading, how would they do that?
The best way is to go to my website. Actually, the only way is to go to my website. Even when people message me now, they get sent to my website. But I know a lot of folks are having trouble because I get a lot of messages of people having trouble or not wanting to pay with PayPal. So I actually have made a button on my homepage. So you can push that button and it will take you right to the appointment page. You don't even have to look. So push the button.
Love it.
And I've got the coupon code, which is the same thing for e-transfers.
Beautiful. Yeah. I love that. Awesome. Yeah.
So
and if you want
Booking with Erin.
Well, if you want to connect with me, head over to bookingwitherin.com.
Even I knew Booking with Erin. It's so much better.
Bookingwitherin.com.
Services.com. I can't remember yoga and spiritual services. The born medium came later.
Yeah, we're gonna fix you up. No problem. All right. Are you ready, my friend?
I am ready. Okay. Ooh, bells. Namaste.
Namaste.
We almost did it.
Almost together. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Next week.